All right, welcome back. This is going to be the follow-up video to the inventory update, which is everything is complete now. We'll go ahead and get started here. Start a new account like normal, just to show the whole process for any newcomers. Still only have the same two sprites. We haven't worked on the tacticians yet. Alright, so now all the items are properly working and the majority of items have been created. Let's take a look at some of these items. Buy a plate set here for the fighter. Buy a leather set for the archer. Still need to add a sound effect in there. So now we got everything working properly. We had a lot of small cosmetic bug issues and all sorts of stuff, but everything should be working properly now. We've done rigorous testing and modifications to all of this. So this is all just basic gear again that only gives armor up, armor stat. As you can see now, characters start with a staff, so you don't actually have to buy a weapon when you start a new character. It is ideal, but you don't have to. Forget the helmet here. So some of the bugs we were having in the past were trading items between characters, but everything has been fixed. You can move anything around. Oh, I'm out of weight. We added in weight restriction, so you can only carry so much weight. So I can't move any more items over because he would be encumbered, and we don't allow that at the moment. So, that's going to be something you're going to have to take into consideration when you go out on some type of journey outside of town. You can only carry so much. So maybe wearing all plate might not be the best move, and we're going to add in some type of backpack system. Maybe not backpack, like a bag system, where you'll be able to equip a bag. It'll increase your carry capacity, and there will also be like an ox you'll be able to bring with you that will also increase your carry capacity. So now we can move items around just fine. Everything's working as intended. Even some of the NFTs here we got going just right. There was all sorts of bugs again, but everything's fixed. The inventory is basically completed. There are a few more items that need to be added into the system, but everything's working properly. So if we equip the bow here, oh, he can't carry more weight. Let's just get rid of that. So you can see all the stats go up properly, which took us a while to get to this point, but everything is working. So we got those two geared up. Let's make the rogue real quick. Make one of each class. I like this one better. So the rogue here, would use the vampiric dagger. We already equipped a leather user. I don't need to show every single one. We'll go over the cloth again real quick. So the main purpose of this update is just to show that everything is completed with the inventory update. We created the last inventory update a little bit early just to show people where we were at, but now everything's fine-tuned and working properly. We actually created a quick equip method and unequip method. So you can see cloth here, it gives bonus to resistances on the right there, and arcana as well, which I went over last video, but there might be some people that didn't see that video, so I'm just reiterating. So we did create a quick equip and unequip method. As you can see, you can right click now and unequip, right click, equip. We need to make it from the stash to equip still. It's a work in progress. So we're gonna have other things as well, like you can, maybe there'll be a few other options. One will be move to the stash or move to a different character, so it'll be much more convenient over time. But we do have that method. The base of it is created, so it won't be too difficult to expand off of that and set it to these other locations. But the inventory is completely working, and we're basically moving on to combat now. All proper NFTs are working on all characters now. We're able to swap gear in every way it's supposed to go. Weight is coded properly. Inventory is complete. But again, there are a few items we still need to add, but again, everything is working. Everything in the shop here is working. And now, when you get your team made, we're going to be we're moving into combat now. The combat system is already created. We're just integrating it into the server now, because our combat system was created for a single player game, and now we're modifying it to fit in this multiplayer world. So, again, we haven't spent much time on this. We're just getting started on the integration part. So say this area here, you can see it looks like on the map here there's some buildings that look kind of destroyed a little bit here. If you travel to this node, we'll be able to create a game, public or private. We'll go with public. So now that I'm here, somebody else would be able to join. That part's not coded yet. It's what we're working on right now. You'll be able to speak with the people. It shows your team of what you're bringing. The different tacticians will be on top here. You'll only be able to bring so many characters, up to 6 max between all the tacticians. And then if you start the match, it'll bring you into the baseline of what we've created here. Again, this we just got into this today. We're just starting this part of the integration today. So an example of a quick battle, you would come in here. There's going to be different groups of enemies that are going to spawn, and they're going to be randomized based on different variables. So for example, we'll pretend this is a level 1 battle you're entering. There's going to be different levels of battles, level 1 through 5. The higher level battle you enter, you'll fight harder enemies. So pretending this is a level 1 battle, these packs are going to be random. Say, if it's a level 1 battle, it'll be like a 60% chance that there'll be a weak tier 1 enemy, and it'll be like a 20% chance, or more like a 30% chance. It'll be a more moderate tier 2 level enemy, and like a 10% chance of having a tier 3 enemy. but it's random. So you could get technically unlucky and get all tier 1 and maybe one tier 2, or you could get, quite a few tier 2 and a few tier 3. But those tier 2 and tier 3 are going to be quite difficult. So there's going to be a little bit of randomness, so it's not going to be the same thing every time. Also, every enemy has its own loot table that we're not going to disclose, but every single enemy can drop its own unique items, and there are a lot of different items and equipment that they are able to drop. And again, this is very alpha here. There's so much more we're going to be adding in over time. Different objectives, different quests, reasons to come to these places. um, we want to create, like, there's a chest here. If you come in here, clear it, you'll get a little bonus loot in here as opposed to what you just get from the enemies. But this is just a basic battle to come out and grind and hit a few objectives, and maybe there'll be some secret quests or something that you can find that you wouldn't think of. You'd have to think outside the box to find them. But this is what we're working on now. We're moving into combat integration, and your different characters here, we're going to make it so you can start accumulating experience. You can start, um, you know, gaining items and bringing it back to town with you, storing stuff up, and leveling up, building your character abilities. Something that we're working on as well is different skills and spells for different characters. So I was explaining before, you're going to have a lot of different skills and spells. This is very not complete as well. So you're going to have like a different skill tree on every single character, and they're going to go down different brackets, and you're going to be able to level up these skills and specialize in different skills. It's going to be incredibly long progression that is going to make every single character unique, and you'll be able to fulfill different roles. So, like, fire is going to be more raw damage, where ice is going to be more utility, perhaps slowing enemies down, making them move slower, but doesn't do as much damage as fire. Wizards will have a summon tree where they'll be able to expand off building a pet and enhancing that pet, using it for any type of utility you could imagine. And then, of course, some type of defensive skill tree for the wizard. But every single class has its own skill tree and spell tree. Skill, spell, basically the same thing. And this is already all designed. We're just still implementing it and coding it into the game. When we launch beta, we plan to have only a minimum of 2 skills or spells for each class. But we have like 30 designed for each class. It's just going to take a while to code it all, test it all, make sure it's all working properly, and that's where we are right now. So this update's going to be pretty short, but the whole point was just to show that the inventory update is complete and we're moving on to combat. And once this combat integration is complete and we get those 2 abilities for each character, there's just a few other things to do before we launch beta and allow people to start playing. And we will have more information on that in the Discord as time comes. So I hope you're all as excited as we are to get this game started. We'll see you all next time.